Hey, what's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of PMP's Den of Antiquities. Today, we're going to be talking about episodes 1 through 3 of Andor. But before we get into that, I'm going to introduce all these awesome people I have in front of me. Charlie, you want to go first?
Yes, sir. Charlie Thomas. Simple man, make him up. No, I'm not going to do that.
No, you have to. You started it.
You committed.
You got to finish.
Yes.
Burn it up.
Yes. Yeah, just me. Happy to be here. Charlie Thomas, Charlie Lone Wolf Thomas on Instagram, all that sort of jazz. Charlie Thomas, it turns out there's a lot of Charlies out there. So if you see just one, yeah, who'd have thought? But yeah, just happy to be here.
Right on, man. Right on. We're happy to have you. Brad, you want to go next?
Hey, I'm Brad. Got the Dragon Hoss page on Instagram and TikTok. Don't really use any of that much, but Instagram. Happy to be here. Happy to talk Andor. Love Rebel stuff, and glad to see the beginning of it.
Nice. Eros?
Hi, Eros Ramos. RotoS5 on Instagram there, where I'm just sort of building my armor and sort of a bit of helmets here and there and a few props.
Very cool. Nick?
I'm Nick, owner of CGS Props. You can find me on Instagram at CGS_props, and from there you can find my Etsy shop as well.
Very cool. Michael?
What's up? I'm Mike. Darth Cemerias on TikTok and Instagram, and I'm super hyped to talk to you guys today about everything that's going on with this amazing new show.
Heck yeah. TC?
Hey, what's going on, guys? It's your boy TC Cosplays, and I'm just happy to be here to talk about Andor. You can also follow me on Instagram and TikTok at the same name of TC Cosplays.
Heck yeah, man! I'm happy to have you on. This is your first time on the channel, so
Yeah.
awesome.
Welcome.
Welcome.
Rex, you want to go?
Hi, I'm Rex from Rex Skyfighter on Instagram. You can follow me there, Prop Maker, Crossover Mandalorian, and I have a link tree if you want to check my other socials.
Right on. All right, that finishes everybody. No, I'm just kidding. Grant, what's up?
He even did his hair
Damn.
for this one.
I was totally ready for that. Ready for it to drop. My name's Grant. You can find me on Instagram at Vanguard Mandalorian.
Very cool. Well, now that we got here, I guess I'll say mine too. PMP Creations with the Z. Check that out. I'm going to be dropping my website this week. I got a lot of Star Wars props, a lot of video game stuff, really just a lot of nostalgic video game stuff, Star Wars and everything like. So go check that out, and then you can find me at PMPs_den, basically on anything. So check me out there. But more importantly, what'd you guys think of the episode, man? Our episodes, I should say. We got 3. So
Should we go in the same order?
man, you guys, it's the wild west out here, man. You just gotta watch those wrist rockets and stay on target.
So, I hadn't really even paid attention to the actual title of Andor as it was put out there, but I loved it. Caught my eye right off the bat was the use of the negative space to make it know. I know that's a really stupid point, but if we're gonna start, let's start at the.
Oh, he went sideways, my dude.
I sense a disturbance in the force.
Skynet.
Communication error can only mean one thing: an invasion.
Do you copy?
All right, do you even have me anymore? I don't.
Gotcha.
Okay, you're. Oh,
no.
he's gone.
No.
All right. Well,
Great.
He'll pop back in.
He'll be
What did
back.
you guys think?
On that opening crawl, I was almost expecting something to sort of come flying sort of off screen, into screen, similar to like the start of A New Hope. And it tricked me every time for all 3 episodes. I'm thinking, oh, something's coming. And then it was like, bang, opening title. Oh, that's all right.
Nice.
Yeah. It was,
Something
pretty
that
awesome.
Something that I really liked about it, the overall, that I'm usually like a pace guy. Like I like fast-paced, just more fast-paced stuff. But something I noticed about this is just like it's pretty mellow. It's not like slow, but it definitely has like a lot of just kind of working in order to probably get to whatever's coming. And it gives a really good like spy feel and kind of like lots of talks and lots of little missions and doing all that stuff. And I think that that's really cool that they were still, me being someone that likes fast-paced stuff, or was able to make it really enjoyable to watch, even though it's maybe a little more slow.
Yeah, because of that, they were packed with a lot of important information,
Yes.
Easter eggs, which I have a list of that I'm excited to share.
I'm ready to hear it.
A lot of amazing world building. I saw the costume designs really good. They were just really slow for me, but on a positive, because it was slower, we were introduced to a lot of characters that we probably won't even see again, like Willie,
Yeah.
who we find out does add-ons and boosters for ships. And then
Yes.
another thing I noticed, because of the slower pace, was that each employee of a certain business wears a different symbol on their clothes. So like Bix and Tim had a specific one. The father and son who wore green, they had their own. And even the transportation kiosk that Andor goes up to, they even had their own. So they just did a really good job making Ferrix feel like a really small and alive community with these just little minor things that they brought to the film or show.
Heck yeah, man.
This-
I didn't even notice a lot of that stuff. So I'm glad to bring it
I
up.
didn't
I'm
notice
like,
any of that.
Well,
I didn't notice any
My
of that.
eyes are glued to the costumes always.
Yeah. I like that guy that's in the background, and he looks like he's wearing like a mask, but he's like walking like this when he's like a blue hat on.
Oh, I know who you're talking about. He like
yeah.
jumps off the
His-
ledge.
Yeah, his like little like walk, dude, cracks me up. He's like literally like, who? I'm like, my dude, are you jogging? Are you walking? What are you doing, bro? Like,
One
did
thing
not
I can one thing I can say about this show is that it is so unique from any other like Star Wars material we gotten recently, and that's kind of what I was hoping for. I was hoping for we would get something new, because we basically, we saw like the Mandalorian and then Bad Batch, and it was kind of like you said before, like pretty fast paced, but I love the world building, and Andor as a character, he's just so interesting, and his story is so intriguing, and I just can't wait to learn more about him.
Heck yeah, I couldn't agree more. I really like the I think the biggest thing I took out of like this whole thing was really just like the sense of the world. Like they were spot on, like with making like they're asking you to like sell these worlds that like you've never been to, right? And I think they did a really good job. There's a lot of like different costumes. There's like I like when there's a good mix of like CGI and like realistic like props and stuff like that. I just got done watching the Industrial Lights and Magic like whole thing, so I'm like super jacked up on that. So like when I went back and rewatched Andor, I was like, oh, they're doing this and this, and I thought that was really cool. And I like that they aren't afraid to be like they're kind of going gritty with this. Like he shot those two cops.
Yeah.
He shot
Man.
one cop. I don't know. I still don't know what happened to the other guy. The other guy looks like he just fell down.
Well,
Too
I know
little, too
he
hard.
punches him in the throat,
Yeah,
and then I know he head bombs right into the concrete. So
Probably, so maybe
the fall, then the sudden stop.
I figured
Yeah.
that or like one of the blasters that bounced off hit him or
That's
something
what I was.
like that.
That's what I was assuming.
That
Yeah.
was a cool little additive. Yeah.
Yeah, he had a very intimate relationship with the ground very fastly.
Yeah, that's for sure. That's facts. But yeah, I wasn't
also-
expecting him to blow up both those guys. Like that was crazy.
Yeah. But also thank God for or thank the Force for Bix, just for her character in general. Totally not
Yeah,
Bix.
sure.
Totally not sipping for Bix.
Yeah.
And another thing. I'm sorry if people were sad that guy that she was hooking up with, Tim was his name,
Yeah.
got. Like, I'm sorry if you were sad, but like, hey man,
Oh,
you learned.
Stitches.
Yeah,
He
literally,
deserved
you beat me to it. That's a great example of
Yeah.
snitches
But I
get
will say-
stitches, bro.
Yeah.
One thing that I
poor
liked
Tim.
about his character was his whole outfit, man. It was more
Yeah,
of
that
a
was cool.
casual, just overcoat with a hoodie, you know what I mean? But it
Little
it
mustard
totally
flare.
blended with yes. So, man, the color palettes that they used on this has been awesome. You know, we've always seen like a lot of blues and grays and stuff like that, but this here is. I mean, I did like it almost looked like the worker guys were. I saw a lot more of the oranges and mustard colors, things like that. Then it seemed like the tech guys were running all the green stuff, like that father and son group, and they seem to be doing more tech work. So it's pretty cool to see the color palettes in this, being a tad bit different than what we normally see.
Heck yeah, dude. Heck yeah.
Yeah, well, one thing I liked about this, I mean, it's still Star Wars, but I like that they haven't mentioned the Force or any Jedi yet. Like in 3 episodes, they haven't mentioned any of that, and it still feels like Star Wars. And I think this is something that makes it possible to show it to someone who hasn't seen Star Wars and not confuse him by not showing any of this. Like, it's pretty like free to show to someone like, oh, you haven't seen Star Wars? Well, you will like the show. I mean, it's something unique. Oh my god, I have a camera here.
That was a great cameo.
Right there.
I assure you, this is a lot cat. I mean, it's genetically modified.
It's all CG.
I was not expecting that. Yeah. I work at ILM, and this is a preview for the next show. Yeah.
Next Liz Cat pitch.
Yes, of course. Yeah. Yeah. I forgot what I was talking about, but yes, that's what I said.
Nice. So I've noticed in some of these shows, like where characters have like more troubled pasts, like they do a lot of like backstory. Like we got a lot of backstory and flashbacks with Book of Boba. How do you guys like kind of what we got? I mean, because it was kind of, I mean, it wasn't like a silent film, but it was like there was no really like you don't understand their language. Like it was just like they're making like almost like beeps and bops and boops on the screen, but you don't like it's inaudible. How did you guys like that and like basically that scene as a whole? Because like I'm still kind of confused on who was crashing, that symbols and like all the symbols.
I don't know. I think we're all there were separatist logos all over the place, but she says the Republic. He killed a Republic guy. So
right.
I've heard tons of different rumors of, this is can't remember the term, but a ploy. You know what I mean? The Republic came in under a separatist badges and ship crashes, does whatever. So. But hopefully we're gonna know the next episode, or
I think it was very deliberate why Marva, I think was her name, said that they were Republic soldiers. I mean, it's not like the script for it said Republic, but then the costume designers just slapped separatist sigils on it. So I feel like it's going to be something like Kenobi, where we're just going to have to wait it out and see what the rest of the show has before jumping to the internet and getting on Lucasfilm about that.
It's already happened.
Yeah, I know.
Bad.
Yeah, it was amazing. I love how they did the flashbacks. They were very great for the paralleling of the situation or whatever, whether it being Cassian sitting down or that one scene where he's just looking troubled and looks straight back and boom, it goes right back to like the young actor thinking like the same thing, paralleling and everything. Great transition. Literally everything you said. It's amazing just to see that, CIS logo. You're like, oh, and then you're like, oh yeah, this takes place during the Clone Wars timeline. Huh. And that's a test to like, how good the story is for me, man. Like I completely forgot about Force stuff and everything like that. I'm loving it so far. Very dark, but very edgy, but I love it. They're doing it in such a good way, and I'm so happy for it.
Definitely caught me off guard to see that he came from like a more primitive like people, like you'd kind of expect him to grow up in a city or something, maybe, considering he's like this hero or whatnot. But it's cool to see that they gave like that backstory. And then at the same time, I don't know, maybe if we'll find out or if it's not even that big of a deal, but I was like, why did she decide to take him? Like, I don't know. I was just wondering. I'm like, what? Just found this kid, and she's like, "Okay, you're mine now.
You're my son now."
Well,
yeah, I don't know.
I think she said something about that he was on the ship, and if anybody comes there, I don't know if it was more of protection or whatever. But you know, I
No
would
less
still,
than.
you know, in her head, she has to know that this kid's got family of some sort or a tribe,
Mhm.
because I mean, from what it looks like, there's 0 adults. It looked
Yeah.
like a bunch of kids.
Yeah.
So, but I don't know if it was a protection thing or, you know, maybe she couldn't have kids or whatever, and she's like you just said, just pluck this one. We're gonna take him and run.
Yeah, what's
Yeah.
that book with the kids on the island?
Lord of the
Lord
Flies?
of the Flies.
I
Yo,
Oh,
like
yeah.
Yeah.
I was just about to say that.
Exactly like that.
literally, I got mad Lord of the Flies vibes from like the whole flashbacks. Like it was so
Yeah.
funny.
because like you could just tell like that chick that was like going up and checking all the people. I'm like,
Yeah, the alpha,
my dude,
yeah.
like you got a stick, bro, or a blow dart. You know, like what are
Yeah.
you doing? She's like sitting there like poking all of them. I'm like, what is this? And then like, I'm sorry, is Cassian the only one who saw that dude get up? Because
No,
they
Right.
took their
They're all just
sweet
kinda
ass
like-
time. Yeah, they took their sweet ass time hitting him with
True.
those freaking. When he started moving, I would have been like, toot, 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 you know, like stay down, like
That guy
instantly.
got jacked up.
Yeah,
By the-
yeah. He got a face full, a chest full, a back full of darts. Like it was. Imagine that.
Plugging away,
Imagine that.
though.
You're,
He wasn't stopping, man. He was.
yeah, you just
It's
having
kept
like a nice little thing. You get out of a little, jump ship. You're just like, oh, that was rough. Oh, I'm gonna get up. What's going on up here? Oh God!
Why am I turning green or yellow?
Oh my goodness. That's funny. That's funny.
The whole
Yeah,
the whole
man.
bit with the stick was a bit like Wicket in Return of the
Oh,
Jedi.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yep, yep.
But yeah, so we got the Flash. I'm trying to think we got to see a new droid. We got to see a
Yes.
new.
Yeah.
I'm blanking. Has he said the name?
B2
Through
emo.
EMO.
EMO. There you go.
Yeah, it was kind of. I thought it was kind of. It's like a box that like kind of just like moves up and like it's like a.
Man,
It's not
When
a
he's
Gorgon.
trucking through the town, and then those whatever warthog dog things
Those
come, and he's
things are
just like,
so-
he knows they're trouble. He just drops down, peeking out.
Oh, yo, okay. That scene. Do you think they put dogs in suits and had
Yes.
them run?
That's how
Because
they did it for
It
Solo.
They had
looks
to.
like it.
Really?
Okay, did
Those
they?
are the same, like I think they're called Corellian hounds,
hmm
and they did that for Solo. They stuck dogs into costumes.
Okay. Because I was like,
Dude,
the way,
it's
I
so
was like,
funny
dang, I was like,
looking.
their CGI team is either really freaking good or those are real dogs. Because like that thing, like they were running like like real dogs, and then it peed on him.
He
Very
got
hard.
it back though.
Yeah, it was like very R2D2 move, man.
Yeah.
Yep, yep.
Now,
Oh,
is
man.
this droid better than K2SO though? That's the real question.
Nah.
Nah.
I mean, it
Nah.
maybe in like cuteness factor,
That's
yes.
true.
Like lovability, well,
Yeah.
maybe not even lovability because K2S is pretty lovable.
I don't think it's awesome.
You just don't get the sass. Like the sass is what makes K2SO like great, you know.
That's
Yeah.
true. That's true.
So my
Well,
buddy Jason,
according to
new-
Cassian actor, this droid is more capable of giving love than K2SO, and is very
That's true.
handsome so far. And we have seen that so far. You know, he hasn't seen you how easy it is for you to die yet, so that's a win, I guess.
Yeah.
So my buddy Jason with New Hope Workshop, he had brought this up, and I kind of could see it. So you know how B2's battery pack seems like it's going out. He's constantly got to recharge all the time. So sort of a fan theory is potentially when K2, whoever he is before, he grabs him and they actually have to retrieve something from B2 and plug into K2 to get him. You know what I mean?
Yo.
So I mean,
That would be
the
amazing.
personalities are definitely different. K2 is a lot.
Yeah.
He's a smart ass, but B2 is a little more caring. But I'm wondering if maybe that's what helps cracks the Imperial code on it. Whenever we, I don't know. I'm
Well, I think because like
I'm ready to see that.
Cassian or not Cassian, K2SO is like super loyal, right? So like, and I feel like that droid is super loyal to Cassian. So it could be like
Yeah.
it's like his like sense of like caring, but like he's also like an analytic like processing droid, so he can like basically like rewrite his code and stuff like that he wants to. So maybe he just gets
I love how
sassed
he had to
up.
check his battery level to see if he could hold a lie.
yeah.
That was awesome.
He's like, that's 2 lies. He's like,
That's
yeah.
too nice.
Yeah, the set design of the thing, I don't know if any big anybody watches like Doctor Who or anything, it remind me of the Dialect or something. I don't know. It's like the little red one or something like that. And then they added like a little stutter into it and everything. And I was just like, wow, that's pretty interesting. Never seen something like that for a droid, but they always come up with very unique stuff like that.
I'll have to look it up because I'm definitely not a Doctor Who fan, but I know.
Yeah.
I mean, I know of it, but I just haven't
I was
watched
looking
it.
around. I was just like, huh, cool.
What do you know? Camino Saber Dart. So, Nick, you said you had a whole bunch of like Easter eggs. You wanted to kind of pull them out.
Let me
'cause,
get my
like,
popcorn. Hold on.
I am awful at fighting this stuff. You guys are like, oh yeah, there's this and this and this, and I'm like, news to me,
let me
man.
Wicked.
So I guess the first one I kind of mentioned in the in our chat earlier about the VCX 100, or better known as the Ghost. It's probably not the same ship, but same model. There's a Gonk droid in episode 1 when Tim is following Bix, and he has like the Rebellion logo, or like the new/old logo, like the Andor logo, basically on it. This one was not really an Easter egg, but just something funny I thought of. So when Luthen's walking stick kind of reminds me of a toy like lightsaber, how it like flicks in and out. I thought that was kind of funny. In episode 1, I think his name is Cyril.
Cyril Khan.
Yeah, Cyril.
Security guy.
He's looking at a screen of the incoming ships, and there's a specific like either like traffic lane or something, and it reads something of attack. I couldn't make out what the first word was, but I wonder what attack they're doing or anything like that. So I don't even know if it plays into something later on, but I just thought that was interesting. And then we talked on the last podcast about Lucasfilm reusing a lot of the costumes from previous media, and it definitely continues with Andor from what I noticed. I find a few I caught was Bix's welding mask is the same mask a background character in Solo uses on Vandor. The large Abinito alien with the yellow mechanical arms, he was also from The Force
I was happy to
Awakens.
see that guy.
Again, probably not the same one, because the one from The Force Awakens, his backstory was his arms got cut off by Unkar Plutt. So I don't know if it's the same one or not. I don't know how long Unkar Plutt's been running things on Jakku. And then the last one was in episode 2 on the transport. There's 2 Aki-Akis in the very back of the bus, and those were first seen in episode 9 at the festival. Those are just a few I caught, but I'm sure there's a few more that I missed.
So every episode now, you just like dubbed yourself.
Yeah.
Easter egg master.
Great.
Easter
All right.
egg guy.
You're gonna have
I'm
all the
prepared.
Easter
I'm good. I'm ready to do this.
Awesome.
You're gonna be the lore master for Easter eggs in each episode.
All right.
I mean, I don't really know if I have anything else to say. Do you guys have anything that you wanted to talk about or go through with Andor? I mean, I know we got a lot, but maybe this. Why don't we rate like all 3 episodes as like a whole, just like 1 to 10, and what you guys thought of like 1 through 3 as like a whole. I guess like just like you guys can just, whoever wants to go first, go for it.
Cool. I'll probably give the first one's automatically a 10 for me because it's just of what happened, and you're just like, okay, Star Wars without Force, without lightsabers or anything like that, and all of a sudden, bam, it looks like Blade Runner, and you're like, whoa, where are we going?
Yeah.
Oh, okay,
That's what I
this
really
is a
liked
interesting
about it.
place. We think we're going here. Cassian turns around, does the boom head shot. Get that reference, get on you. But just you're like, whoa, is this a Disney show? So yeah, and just setting up for stuff like that and seeing the backstory, the flashbacks and stuff, and you're just like, oh wow, he had a rough background. Okay, I've been fighting this battle for just 6 years, still
6 years old.
Yeah, so man, I have nothing but good things to say. So that's a 10 out of me for the first
Nice.
episode.
All right. Very cool.
Over the
I'll go with a
three-
9 just
you can go.
because I don't. Oh no, I'm sorry.
No, you
No,
go.
go ahead. No, Nick, you're better than me, man. Go for it. Go.
No, oh my god. All
We're
right.
all equals here, man. We're all
Yeah,
equals here.
no competition.
I don't know.
Like
He's got
said.
the Easter eggs.
All right, so he has one up on
Oh
all
my
of
God.
us.
Nick's just the superior being.
Oh my god. All right. So the first 3 episodes for me were definitely a 9 out of 10. Just some of the reasons I said before. There was a lot of important information, the really good world building, costume designs, but it was just a really slow burn for me. I feel like to watch, but with that, there was definitely positives I enjoyed from that slow burn.
Nice.
All right, Brad, you want to go next, man?
Yeah, I'm with Nick on the 9. And probably I don't want to say a 10 because I don't want to seem like a complete fanboy because this is what I've been waiting for. But you
where
know,
the fun
the
begins.
first one was, I don't want to say it was slow because of all the stuff that we got. You know what I mean? I mean, the character building that happens right there was amazing. You know, we got a little bit of action, not a whole bunch. You know, stepping into to see the history, you know, Andor's history, where he's coming from, you know, to know about a sister now, you know, what we could get from that, you know, that could be somebody that pops up later on, you know, in their own series, you know, for all we know, she's doing bigger and better things. But I don't know, man. I'm good with a 9, ready to see more. Loving the ships that we're seeing so far.
Oh yeah,
Been amazing. But I want to come back once everybody does the rating. I want to talk about the incident that happens on Kessa, right? Did I say that right? Where Andor's planet?
Oh, Canary.
Canary, yeah, sorry.
Yes.
So when everybody does it, I want to come back to that.
Okay, cool.
The first episode, I'll give it a 8 out of 10. I thought it was a solid introduction to just the world and just the overall tone of how this show is going to progress in the future. Episode 2, I'll give it a 9. Like, more story, larger stakes. And episode 3 is my favorite episode. And one of the reasons why I give it a 10 is because the ending. I mean, like, just like how everybody else's stories like kind of shape, because Bix literally had to watch Tim die, and she was you know, she was tied up, and she literally just stared at his body, and even when she got released, she couldn't even touch him because the other 2 characters pulled her away. And Andor, now he's leaving the planet that he's known all of his life to join some guy who knows so much about him and who wants to fight, you know, the Empire. And then I forget the guy's name. He's the head of security.
Oh,
Cyril Khan.
Yeah.
Yeah. And like when him just looking at like the destroyed speeder and him just being like frozen and just like dude, like what just happened? I messed up big time.
I probably should have stayed back like the boss told me to.
Yeah. And the last scene with Andor and him flashing back and forth with him as a kid, you know, leaving his home and him leaving his second home again, is just, it's like poetry, man. It rhymes, man.
Well
Nice.
said. Well said.
Just touching on what TC said with Cyril Khan. That's exactly what I thought as well. When his superior said, "Look, just leave it. This is what happened. These 2 guys were in a place where they weren't meant to be on, I think, a duty they weren't meant to be on." As soon as he sort of told him that, I'm thinking, this guy's going to pursue this. What's the bet? This is what brings the Empire down on this particular sort of security detail to sort of check in the background what they're doing or scrutinizing how they're sort of running things. Straight away thought about that when he went against his superior there.
Yeah, I was gonna say for my rating, I give an overall 8. Mainly, like like what all of you've said is like the story building. I'd say like story building through world building, because I feel like again it was slower, but you see a lot of detail, and I think we talked about this on the Rogue One podcast, is how just like this vibe, this time of like the World War II styled era and the kind of classic and original type stuff, but modernized. Because obviously in the sequels you get to see TIE fighters and stormtroopers, but everything's a little different, and now we get to see it like in Rogue One. Rogue One was kind of the only one that we really got to see that. Solo, more or less. But they did so much, and like we even got to see Prince like a strip club and/or more, like Star Wars. I'm like,
or something.
her hair was crazy, and then it's dark. He blasted that guy, and I remember just being on my couch. Oh my gosh, like what the heck? And it just made me think back to Rogue One, where he's saying like, oh, we all did things we didn't want to, and I'm like, well, that right there, that's what got him to where he is now. Like that was the beginning of all this, and he wouldn't have got there, without all that stuff if he didn't have to leave and sell that part. And then just one thing that I like too is we're seeing like the bad guys, I guess, right now aren't like the main bad guys usually see. They're not Imperial, they're not First Order Stormtroopers, whatever. And obviously we'll see that eventually, but I like how it's kind of more like it's its own thing. It's like a little separated, it's not the Force, there's not a Sith hunting a Jedi, and it's still really good. And just a detail that I like too is I forget the guy's name, you guys just said it, the main bad guy. Not only is he like just unlikable in a good way, you're like, okay, it's a good job that he's an unlikable bad guy, because you don't want to root for him. But his like second in command, that guy is
dude, he is
he's gassed up.
It fits the vibe too, just like his build, his body type, his like he has the accent, and he's just like everything's on point. I love like just hearing him talk and seeing the way he does stuff. And
Bro, he's gonna take on the whole rebellion, bro.
I love his smile after this.
Dude, literally, that's the coworker you really do not want to mess with, bro.
Eager to please and willing to
Employee of the month every month.
Yeah. I'm interested to see where he'll kind of take the story, because obviously, the main villain or whatnot, he's just kind of like he doesn't seem too tough, too strong. Like he puts on his face when he's yelling at the guys, that are looking for Andor and stuff. But, at the end, like he's standing there and you see his second in command take him and grab him. And I'm like, what's this dude doing? Like he's like, he's in a depression now and he's going to come back for revenge. Like he does not like.
I don't know. I'm almost wondering if that's what's going to turn him into more of a sympathizer to the rebellion, because I mean, he seems dedicated to figure out why these guys are, who killed him, bring this guy in, but definitely not a loyalist to the Empire. I think he's got a job. He's like those first lieutenants, you know what I mean? They come out, they're fresh, they're hungry, they want to prove themselves. How his uniform was tailored. The boss was like, you changed the uniform? Yeah, I did some piping and I tailored it up. So I just, I don't know how long we're going to see him as a bad guy. And it's weird to even say he's a bad guy because he just doesn't fit the bill.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
didn't even think of that. Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, he's basically just thinking he's doing the right thing for his job. And even when he goes on to Ferrix and he's walking through the scrapyard, there's that one guy that kind of gives him that dirty look, and he kind of does like a double take, going like, "Oh,
what?
we're the good guys. Why is this guy looking at me weird?"
Well,
so you
even
see that a lot.
When the operators, the guys pulling the intel and stuff before the mission that are sitting down in that lower area, they're telling him things are different there. They have their own way of doing it. He's like what? I mean, aren't they under our jurisdiction or something like that? He's just clueless to what he's stepping into.
Where can I find some of those blue noodles? Is what I want to know.
You know, that's
Yes,
if you
the
buy
blue
the Galaxy's Edge book, my mom actually got it for
Oh,
me
that's
for my birthday,
right.
and she made them for me. Like, and dude, they're so good. That if you actually
they
follow
are.
the recipe or have
Yo,
someone that knows how to
that's
cook,
sick.
because I don't.
I
They're
have seen that in
they're
there. That's
good.
right.
I gotta
Yeah.
mark that one down. Then I have that book, so
Yeah,
I'm like
same.
excited
Yeah,
to actually use it.
They're bomb. They're bomb.
Nice. First
Also,
blue
how
milk, now
cool-
blue noodles. My God.
Also, how cool was Endor's blaster? Dude?
Yo,
Oh,
dude,
the
when he
briar.
puts it into his head and it like turns, I was
Yes.
like, "Oh!" I like lost
That was
my mind
awesome.
just from a simple like gear shift, essentially.
I half
my-
expected it to just be like a shotgun pistol. I don't know, it just looked like that to me. Like just shoot 10 rounds at once or something.
On my second watch, I noticed that Marva's partner had the same blaster. So I wonder at some point if it's like a hand-me-down kind of thing, or if it's just a completely different one. But I like to think it's like a passed-on thing.
Well, I was
Yeah.
assuming that that was his dad, right? Because like he's not there
I think
anymore.
so.
Like she's there, and he's
Well,
Yeah.
they
not.
talk about his,
Yeah.
you know, when he tells him your dad was hung in the, you know, hung in
Oh, that's right.
Rick's Road or Brick's
That's
Road,
right.
whatever it was, you know. So
Yeah, and I think that's really the only way I feel like how the clone troopers will come into play is through the continuation of Cassian's backstory.
Yeah.
Like we find out from Luthen, his dad was hung, and so once the Republic transferred to the Empire, he resisted because I forget where we find out Andor and his family are separatists. So his parents probably were resisting, and his dad probably got caught up with it and ended up being on the wrong end of that firing squad that we see from the trailer.
Dang, that's crazy.
Forgot about
That's
that.
crazy to see. Like, it's gonna show. Like, well, that's the thing I like about Andor is it just shows so many different sides of things, and you can already tell by what we've got that it's gonna get even grittier. So it's just
Yeah.
gonna be like I feel like Star Wars hasn't like they've been sprinkling in the grittiness. We kind of got a little bit with Rogue One. We got a little bit with Obi-Wan with Vader like snapping people's necks and stuff like that. And I feel like Andor is really going to cater to the people who have been wanting gritty Star Wars for a long time. You know, so I think
well,
it's
even
like
look at some of the stuff in the last season of Bad Batch. You know what I mean? I mean, I
True.
can't say that it was as brutal as this, but it was still darker than what we've seen.
for
I mean,
sure.
you
Yeah.
figure since the mouse has got Star Wars, it's gotten darker. You know?
Yeah. Well, even
I don't
Clone
mind it.
Wars does. Like after
Yeah.
season, like whenever Maul comes in, Clone
Yes.
Wars gets dark, dude.
Yes.
Like
Yeah.
Maul just comes in and turns Clone Wars on its head. You know.
Yeah, I really like this because definitely going into that rated R Star Wars kind of really goes against what George had in mind for his universe. But they can still tell or how we found out from this is they can definitely still tell more mature stories without crossing that line. I didn't think anything about the brothel or the violence at the beginning was anything over the top, and there was nothing graphic about them either. We definitely know what it was implying. But yeah, they definitely didn't cross the line for those situations, which I
It's
thought
tasteful,
worked
I
really
guess
well.
you could
Yeah,
say.
tasteful. That's a good way to say it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I couldn't agree more.
I mean,
And
Cara Dune shot somebody in the face. We totally forgot about that.
Yeah.
I completely forgot about her character in general. Like we haven't seen her in so long
Yeah.
because all that whole fiasco with Gina and like
Yeah.
I just like straight up forgot about her character.
You know what's really cool that they did too that I was happy about? At first I was thinking back because I was like, I want it to last long. You know, you want the show and everything to spread out. You know, you don't get a ton of Star Wars content all the time. And I was like, oh, they released 3 episodes. And like that's 3, 2 episodes we don't get to watch a week later. But I was thinking about it and I'm like, it's so much better they did it this way, especially if you're into the story building and
100%.
world building, because nothing felt rushed at all. And I feel like in every show we've had so far, the beginning is more rushed. Like maybe not super rushed, but they didn't no rushing at all. It was very paced well, and they introduced everyone and different people every episode and stuff. So that was nice that they did that.
I think they would have had a problem if they would have even if they would have released the first 2. Like I think they realized that it's just like because of the pacing, like they had to release 3, which like, hey, I mean,
That's true.
Yeah.
I don't think any Star Wars fan's gonna complain about getting more Star Wars.
Right.
Like, oh
Especially
no,
all at
you're
once.
giving me 3 episodes. Crap.
Damn it.
Like no, that's not happening. So
Diego Luna recently said it in an interview at D23 Expo that episode 4 will be like very different from the past 3, and that it will just keep evolving. And so
okay.
to me, this acknowledges a few rumors that have been circulating the internet saying Andor would be broken up into like 3-episode arcs, kind of like the Clone Wars was, with a bit of time jumps in between. So it'd be really cool if every arc had maybe like a year gap in between it. It would start off by saying like the year or what BBY it was, and then all of season 2 would be like the very last year or right up on Rogue One kind of pacing.
I'm
I
about
think-
it.
I think like a long time ago, I don't know if it was confirmed or who said it, but they were saying that Andor was supposed to end right when Rogue One starts.
Okay,
so maybe,
so
maybe that's
yeah.
season 2 or
yeah.
season 3.
That
I
would
don't
be
know.
sick if it ends with him walking into the alleyway to meet the guy with
Yeah.
the
Oh
the
yeah, I
Hawkeye.
kind of set that up.
Yeah,
Oh my
yeah.
god! I hope it does now.
following
Thanks
true
for
Rogue
that.
One
Yeah.
fashion,
That would be sick. That'd be sick.
But what do you guys think about the one of the operator, the Intel guys, they were bringing up about Canary. I can't believe I keep reading it. But the incident that happens, because when Cassian steps out and he's looking, at first it's kind of hard to tell that it's all destroyed and decayed and stuff. But then when it kind of pans back, you see the side of the mountain busted, and the fact that his parents show up and they're wearing respirators. I mean, before there were parents, but they're all have air breathers on. None of the kids are affected, so it's definitely something. Whatever happened, I don't know if it was more of a genocide or something, because they said the Imperial deemed it inhabitable planet after this particular incident or whatever, and those guys that are coming out of the ship, they're all greenish yellow and stuff like that. So do we think that it was something they breathe in the air that only affects adults, or
Old
was that
people
just,
killer.
did that just happen to be yeah, right, children of the corn, yeah.
Well, his mom and dad didn't get affected by it.
Right, but
But
when they start off, they're wearing
They
that.
did
She
have
tells
them,
him,
yeah.
yeah, she's like, hey, you can take that off, but it wouldn't explain why the pilots or the crew of that ship were all turning yellow and stuff,
Yeah.
unless that was just their natural.
I
color.
have 2 theories about that, and it connects with what we've seen already, and one's kind of jumping ahead, but is like either one, whatever, either the air is poisonous or maybe something on the ship was poisonous.
Where there was green fumes.
Yeah,
Yes.
when they,
Yeah,
when it
something
was
like
trailing
that.
through the sky, there was gas blowing out
Yeah,
of it.
so either something blew up, which I think more likely if you can see it from the sky, or they got attacked, which leads me to the kind of jumping ahead because we didn't see it yet, but I presumed they got attacked because in the trailer we see that Star Destroyer right over, the ground and stuff. I don't remember who's in that scene. I think it shows a character, but I was thinking after that crashed we would see that, and we didn't. So I'm wondering if it, I don't know, they left already, so I don't know if we'll see it if it's on that planet, but
Yeah,
I
I don't think that a Star Destroyer would have been around at the time, because that still would have been Republic side,
yeah.
The dirt.
Yeah, I definitely think there's
Probably
more
a
to
Venator,
this.
maybe.
I mean,
Ooh,
some
could be.
sort of Star Destroyer. Yeah.
I definitely think there's more to this than we know at the moment, definitely, because once it's crashed, the pilot kind of laying there was like a green gas blowing over him.
Okay.
So I definitely think that like Marva and her partner know a bit more of what's going on than we do, because maybe they were the one that attacked that vessel and brought
Yeah.
it down for some reason. And that would explain also how they knew they were Republic officers and not separatists. Maybe they were hunting that ship down to get the Republic away from attacking another separatist base
That could be,
and flooding them with like
Mhm.
mustard gas or something. So they could be helping the separatists in that way. So there's definitely a lot of stuff to consider.
Oh, if they were like agents, that'd be kind of cool. Like,
That too.
especially, that would make it like more intense. Like especially
Yeah.
like when the clones come in, because there was a scene in the trailer where like their home's getting blown up, and like that obviously like didn't happen in the first 3. So like that's got to happen in the flashback. Maybe like the Republic like raids their like their homestead or something like that, and like
Yeah.
finds out that they're the ones that attacked like the frigate or something.
For sure,
It's
yeah.
soldiers follow orders.
But see, I was just kind of wondering too if they're trying to deem this accident because, like I said, there's no adults. It's just a bunch of kids, and their clothes look larger than what they should. It's almost like a lot of hand-me-downs and stuff. So I'm just kind of wondering, where did all the parents go? Did the Republic? Because obviously this is happening in that transition time into the Empire. So, did they show up and basically say, hey, you people know too much, pull all the adults aside and drop them in the mine and blow it up, and then just let the kids defend for themselves? So, yeah.
It's also
Could be,
interesting
could
how
be.
it's also interesting how it's deemed as an Imperial mining accident.
Yes.
Mhm.
Yep.
So I wonder if they're covering up something that maybe the past generations did, or if they did a whole nother thing after the fact.
Well, they're
True.
doing the same thing with Mandalore because, like in whatever
Jedha.
is it Mandalorian season 2, where
Three.
like Boba Fett's like, oh, that planet's glassed,
Yes,
but
now.
and you
That's
see
what
in
I was
Mando
gonna say,
3,
that's probably what happened.
the city's still there, and Bo-Katan's like sitting in the city,
Yeah.
so it's not like completely glassed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, it's not
Empire
literally right. It's more of a term because I know I heard that
Yeah.
first in Halo, and I was like, "There's a bunch of stuff still left on the planets," but yeah, I don't know. But I mean, where is it now? Because no one knows about it. Like, no one knows where it is. They can't find it. Like, is it gone, or can you just not go there? It's just taken off the maps. Because if the police force more or less has access or is working with the Imperials, I presume they'd have maybe some sort of access to it. So either it's gone completely, or they just can't see it on the map because it's taken off by the Republic.
Interesting.
I mean, they deleted a planet in the Rebel season 3 or 4, I think. I think it was Agent Callus who deleted a planet from the Imperial database to
Oh yeah,
help
yeah, I know what you're
fighting
talking
the
about.
rebels.
Yeah,
Yeah,
so
yeah,
it could be easy for someone high up to just
Wipe it
Well,
out.
Camino was hidden too,
Delete.
and
Yeah,
Clone Wars.
That's
So
true.
Yeah.
Oh yes, of course.
so it's definitely possible for sure.
I mean, the Empire has also hidden information about entire cities before. Like in Rogue One, precisely. They said that Jeddah had that mining accident or something
Yeah.
like that.
yeah.
Oh,
So
yeah.
That's
it's
their
Wasn't
hidden.
a
go-to
mining
excuse:
accident.
a mining accident.
Why is there like
That
100
planet doesn't even have materials on it. Oh, mining accident.
It has to
Mining
be.
mining seashells?
One thing I did want to ask you guys, because I was kind of confused. Do you so they send that guy, the guy that shoots Tim, they send him back to the chopper or whatever, and then he lifts off. Is he just being dumb and they have an anchor? They anchored their ship down,
No,
or did
No, the other
his
guy
boy
did.
Brazo did that.
you think
Yeah.
so?
Yeah.
Okay,
Oh,
yeah,
no,
so that was
he-
the
So
other
they
option.
show that
walking away.
scene of
Yeah, they
Definitely.
showed him
Yeah.
walking away from it,
Yeah.
with like taking
He's
his gloves
walking away,
off,
taking
like
his
oop.
gloves off. Yeah.
Yeah.
what a
Yeah.
beast.
Like,
I
even-
guess-
Even at the end, he's sitting at the bar and he's like drinking heavily because like now he's like, oh, like I
Well, because
just
that's what I was
Something
thinking.
like
I
that.
saw
Showed it
that
to me.
scene.
What
Yeah,
have
I
I
saw
done?
that scene where he's just like,
Yeah.
like I was like, did he just do that? He's an OG friend, man.
yeah,
Yeah.
He probably knows that someone like it's about to come down on everyone that's left behind, sort of thing now. So
yeah.
I don't know about you guys, but like for some reason, every cup that I saw in there made me want to drink something out of the Star Wars universe. The cups just looked
Yes.
like made it look good. And I'm
Yes.
like, I want like I think she had like it was like clay pot styled one or something when she was talking to Andor in the bar, and I'm like, it just makes it look good. She like barely sipping on it, but I was like, I want something now.
No,
Yes.
the world building in Andor is probably the best I've seen in shows. The shows so far, like I think it beats Boba. I think it beats Obi-Wan. Heck, I'll even say it beats Mando. Like the world building, like there's so much. Like even like talking to you guys that like I didn't even catch. Like I was like, what the? I didn't even see that. There's so much to like spot within the world, which I thought was like
Yeah,
Five
they built
people
a whole
from
ass
Bubbles.
town.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the acting is like superb as well, man. Like them like committing like a bunch of stuff and everything like that, and of course the guy, the big guy who thought he was wearing the big britches in his second verse, like I forget the quote. It was best we sharpen the blade before doing something like whoa, okay, he's okay, we'll see how this goes. And just everything about that is just amazing. Not too much. It had music in it, but like it played at like certain moments and building up to certain things. And someone pointed it out, and it flew over my head. I kept looking at the Cassian's, I guess, Guardian. I was like, what have I seen her in? She looks so familiar. And like Harry Potter, Charlie, like, oh yeah,
Oh yeah.
Oh, it's Aunt Petunia.
yeah,
I haven't seen the last three before, so
yeah. Great actress. I had to pull that out real fast.
Yeah, I did that like totally didn't register with me at all. But now that you say that, I'm just like, I should have seen it the whole time. It's right there in front of me. Well,
Don't tell her about Jedis.
she doesn't like wizards. I don't know about the wizard life. Well, thank you guys so much for coming on and talk. We're sitting at about an hour right now, so I feel like for the first 3 episodes that was solid. Let's go through all y'all social medias one more time for all the good people listening, so they can find all you cool cats. Rex, we're gonna start at the bottom. Why don't you go first, man? Oh, your audio.
Oh, I think
It's gone.
We're good now, I think.
Yeah, you're good.
Right on, man.
You can find me on Instagram as Rex_Skyfinder, I guess. Yes, I think that's my media. And there I have a link tree to my other socials if you want to look.
Very cool, very cool. TC?
you can follow me on Instagram and TikTok at TC Cosplays. I also have Twitter as the same name, TC Cosplays.
Very cool, very cool. Michael?
Yeah, I'm on TikTok and Instagram at Darth Cemerias, and I do prop making and cosplays. So you can follow me there.
Very cool, man. Very cool. Nick?
You can find me on Instagram at CGS_props. From there, you can find my shop on Etsy as well.
Very cool. Very cool.
And his
Eros?
new website, it's actually CGS_props_Easter eggs.
Oh, I gotta get on that.
I thought you were like serious. I was like, no,
Oh.
I guess it's another website. I didn't even know. You had me fooled, man. I
Sorry,
was buying it. I was buying it. Eros, you want to go, man?
Yeah, you can find me on Instagram just under Rhoda S5, where I just build all my props and that. Maybe one day I might finish my 5s build. We'll see.
Dude, actually, I'm the exact same way with my boba. Like, I can't, like, they just take time, man. They just take time.
Yep.
You can't rush it.
No.
Brad, you want to go next, man?
Yeah, you can find me on Instagram at Dragon_Hosk. Hit the link tree. It goes to the rest of the places. Follow me.
Very cool. Very cool. Charlie?
Yes, sir. Charlie Lone Wolf Thomas, all one word, on Instagram. And if you can find the Charlie logo on YouTube, it has a green background and a Bo-Katan on there. That's all I got. I have spoken.
Very cool. Very cool. You guys can find me at PMPs_den. Basically on everything. I got TikTok, Twitter, Instagram, all that stuff. I'm usually not on Twitter a whole bunch. Just because like I go on there and I instantly want to hop off. Also, I have nothing to say. Like I hop on Twitter, I'm just like, I don't even know what to say, man. Like Star Wars is cool. But yeah, you guys, and then you guys can find me on obviously on YouTube and all that stuff. And then if you guys are into 3D printed items, I do a lot of like custom 3D printed stuff for my business. You can check out that at PMP Creations with a Z. If you guys have made it this far in this video, thank you guys for watching. Thank you guys for coming on and talking. I hope all you guys come back on for all the rest of Andor and stuff like that, because I think we got a lot of stuff ahead of us that's going to be really cool to talk about. And with that, thank you for watching, and may the Force be with you.